Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead is not your typical health book. It's a personal transformation story told by Joe Cross, an Australian entrepreneur who was 100 pounds overweight, suffering from an autoimmune disease, and relying on steroids just to function. Tired of being trapped in a cycle of illness, medication, and poor diet, Joe took a radical step. He decided to go on a 60-day juice fast, traveling across America while surviving entirely on fresh fruit and vegetable juices. This journey not only changed his body, but also reshaped his mindset, habits, and life purpose. Along the way, he inspired others to rethink their relationship with food, including a truck driver named Phil, who would undergo a similar transformation. At the start of the story, Joe is in a dark place physically and emotionally. He weighs over 300 pounds and suffers from chronic urticaria, a painful autoimmune condition that causes hives all over his skin. Despite years of medication, the symptoms persist. His energy is low, his diet consists mostly of processed foods and meat, and his future looks bleak. Joe realizes that no one is coming to save him. If he wants to live a different life, he has to make a bold choice, and it starts with his fork. Joe commits to a 60-day juice cleanse, consuming nothing but juice made from fresh fruits and vegetables. This isn't a crash diet, it's a reboot for his system. His goal is to flood his body with micronutrients, rest his digestive system, and allow his immune system to reset. As he begins his fast, the early days are tough. He experiences headaches, cravings, mood swings, and fatigue. But by the end of the first week, he starts feeling different. His inflammation reduces, his energy spikes, his mental clarity returns, the weight begins to fall off. During this period, Joe travels across the United States, interviewing people about their health, their diet, and the challenges they face. Many relate to his story, expressing frustration, confusion, and hopelessness about their own health journeys. After completing the 60-day fast, Joe transitions to a plant-based diet, still emphasizing juice, but now incorporating whole fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and legumes. By this point, he's lost over 80 pounds, reversed his autoimmune symptoms, and gone off all medications. But what's most powerful isn't just his physical transformation. It's how this journey reawakens his sense of purpose. Joe doesn't keep the results to himself. He shares his story through a documentary and begins helping others take back control of their health. That's when we meet Phil Staples, a 429-pound truck driver who was on a fast path to an early grave. Inspired by Joe, Phil begins his own juice reboot and ends up losing more than 200 pounds. But more importantly, he gains his life back. You are what you eat. Joe shows that food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. By eliminating processed foods and embracing raw nutrition, the body can heal itself from the inside out. Radical change is possible. Joe's story proves that no matter how far gone you feel, you're never too late to turn things around. But change requires commitment, discomfort, and breaking from old patterns. Community matters. Joe's journey becomes a movement when he connects with others. Real transformation is contagious. It spreads when people share, support, and inspire one another. It starts with one decision. Everything changed for Joe when he said, "Enough is enough." That moment of personal accountability is the turning point in every transformation story. Some critics argue that extreme juice fasting isn't sustainable or safe for everyone. Doctors recommend that anyone attempting a fast, especially long-term, should do so with medical supervision. Joe himself acknowledges this and doesn't promote juice fasting as a permanent solution, but as a way to reboot your system and shift your relationship with food. The book and its documentary inspired a global movement around juice cleansing and whole food nutrition. Joe went on to found Reboot with Joe, a platform dedicated to plant-based wellness, recipes, and health coaching. His story has helped thousands of people start their own transformations, and he continues to advocate for simple, accessible ways to improve health without fad diets or pharmaceuticals. Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead is a raw and inspiring story about reclaiming your life by healing your body. Joe Cross shows that sometimes the only way out of a crisis is through it, and that real change happens when you stop making excuses and start making juice. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. And Joe's message is simple but powerful. If he can do it, you can too.